gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you,
heart, see your mind, see all you hide. I won't let
lose yourself, I'll be right beside you. I see your heart, see your mind, see all you hide. I won't let you go, can't let this fall. When you lose yourself, I'll be right beside you.
has given the best that he has.
I'll be right beside you.
Till the quiet and the echo
echoes became colder. I never really knew that it was over, till the quiet and the echoes became colder. Took my love, then gave it back. It's yours to leave, but it won't keep me from this hard time. And I'll try to carry on again, but I never really knew that it was over. your smile. Like the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 Bring that beat back. Safe and sound. if you let me walk away, maybe then we'd lose it all. No.
Mbappe.
Take me
All in the lineup today. Expect destruction.
Show me all the places I've never known, and we'll chase.
Who starts a draw again?
Hambo, 4 goals in that 5-0 win. How about this one in 2013? 30 yards out. Anybody got a clock on it? Somebody said around 76 miles per hour. Another slot on his slugs? Yes, sure have. The old lady was too sporty.
And Gigi not having the best of weekends. That's who used to big way to score goals. Ultimate good technical team, but I think with the experience of something like Pregame, they can get back to winning ways. But they was disappointing performance against Barcelona. I didn't go.
Fantastic background. They fell 5-0 to Basel on match day 2. Life not any easier today against Manchester United. Our Facebook Live crew, led by Rachel Burnett, has won this one.
Hey guys, I'm Rachel Burnett, and Mario Melchior are here with me. There's only one way to watch Manchester United versus Benfica today.
Right here on Facebook with us.
Simply search Fox Sports Champions League, like our show page, and Romelu Lukaku will be in beautiful high definition for you to watch for free on your phone. You're welcome. Rob?
Thanks, Rach.
They're lovely chaps, isn't it? They're lovely chaps.
Yeah, nice little trio there. The history between these two clubs. 68 European Cup final, Wembley. Tie. United able to... You must have been there. Knock off the Savio ledge. Georgie back. That was a goal now. Charlton United becoming the first English club to win the competition. But for Jose Mourinho, look at the ill-fitted shirt, the stern look. Today's match has special meaning for a different reason. Remember, it was with Benfica that he began his managerial career, replacing Yapaikas back in September of 2000. He would last just 3 months there due to a contract issue. Here's Jose Mourinho moments ago.
At Anfield, you said you were restricted by the lack of midfield options. Is it a similar scenario tonight? You have brought Juan Mata back.
It's similar in everything. It's similar because we have only Herrera and Matic. It's similar because at Anfield, club play with 3 very strong midfield players who try to control defensively the game there, which they did. They press us very hard with the 3 midfield players, and they play like that until the last second. And Rui normally play with Jonas, with Jimenez, and tonight he played with the 3rd midfield player, Augusto. I think to try the same because everybody knows without our strong physical players in midfield, we lack of options, and even Carrick, an intelligent player that could give us his experience now, is also out, so we are short there. So we have to try to go in another way. So we bring Mata to the game to try to be more supportive of Romelu.
Clever wordplay there by the reporter saying that Jose was restricted by midfield options. What he meant to say is you park the bus versus Liverpool in the 0-0 result. That's at least what a lot of people out there are saying. Is that fair criticism?
It's fair that it happened, but it's not fair in that the man does not promise to play a romantic brand of soccer. He was not brought in to bring bring sexy back to Manchester United. He was brought in to have them be successful, and that is what he has done consistently. It might not be pretty. It might not be romantic.
Just tell me it's pragmatic.
It's pragmatic. It gets results. And for Manchester United, this brand, that's what they need first. They'll get sexy later.
11 goals in 11 matches in all competitions coming into this one.
The Jose Mourinho tactical scenario, I think it's a non-story. You hired Jose Mourinho to win trophies and get you into Champions League. Look at where Manchester United was a couple seasons ago. And yes, they've had a couple of really good games this season where they have been throwing numbers forward a little bit more than previously, I guess, because they've spent a little more money. People are automatically going to think more and they're playing free-flowing, attacking football. But when they go to big grounds, Jose Mourinho is there to win and get points.
You can't. No, I'm just looking at that interview there. I disagree with Mourinho there to say that that's the only options you have. When you have players like Rashford and Lukaku, you should be a bit more adventurous going forward. And I understand it's his style, and we buy into that, and he's a winner, and you're judging by May. But I think any Man United fan that I've spoken to, they'd like him to be a bit more aggressive against a Liverpool team that can't defend. So that was the only problem that Mourinho had, is that he wasn't aggressive enough going forward. But don't make an excuse you ain't got enough squad of players with the money that you expect.
Still waiting for Pogba to come back. Still waiting for Zlatan to come back as well. The Red Devils unbeaten over the last 5 trips to Portugal. Will they be able to extend that streak versus Benfica? Again, that match on Facebook Live. Barcelona live on FS2 versus Olympiacos, Bayern, and Celtic on Fox Soccer Plus. Chelsea home to Roma on FSN. Enjoy all the games.
This pregame show was brought to you by Heineken and Lay's, UEFA Champions League sponsors. The pregame show was brought to you by Geico.
Today on FS1, the battle for the American League crown continues. Astros.
Going for a home run.
Yankees. Game 5. Coverage begins today at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on FS1.
Where to find the best deal?
What's that? Kroger's. 2 gram below market value, 5-star dealer rating. And beef.
Car dealers.
Find great deals from top-rated dealers near you. Building a website in under an hour is easy with GoCentral from GoDaddy. In fact, 68% of people who built their website using GoCentral did it in under an hour. And you can too. Build a better website in under an hour with GoCentral from GoDaddy.
Do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, for better or worse?
Wait, does that include his less than perfect driving record?
At the General, you can get affordable auto insurance with low payments for multiple vehicles, even if one of the drivers has a problem on their driving record. Get your anonymous online quote and ride with the General. For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
There we go. This fight is a complete toss-up.
An all-new Ultimate Fighter, tonight at 10 on FS1.
No thanks. I'm still driving.
I can't believe they charged me this much. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Go to CashNetUSA.com now. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow.
Thanks. Who are you?
At CashNetUSA.com. Man.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Onwards they trek, knowing all the danger that lurked all around them. Luckily, they've geared up at Sierra Trading Post for less than 50 price. Who knew that Brian's new Mickey pants with zip-up legs would make for the perfect escape?
is brought to you by Heineken and Lay's, UEFA Champions League sponsors.
Barcelona have outscored the opposition 19-1 in their last 5 home matches in all competitions. It is a soft home crowd today, but they're expecting much of the same as the Group D leaders face last place Olympiacos. Further optimism courtesy of the recent form of Mr. Messi, who finds himself on the verge of yet another milestone. His next goal will be his 100th in European competition. Only Ronaldo has more. Glad you're with us today. Messi's partner up top. A big focus today, primarily because Luis Suarez has not been the Luis Suarez of old early on.
No, but we have seen signs of his movement, bringing other people in the game. Yes, he hasn't got the goals, but he got a couple of goals for Uruguay to get them to the World Cup in Russia. So his movement is excellent. He can occupy a back 3, back 4, whatever he's playing against. But he's judged on his goals. If he can get another goal, he's at 18 goals already in the Champions League. But it is Messi. Give him the ball, make the run. He's got 17 goals this season. Them two have a great understanding on and off the field.
Living all the dreams, playing all the games, and getting higher.
The guys playing behind him, Brad.
They can chase us down,
I'm not saying it's just because
but we will always win.
No, I'm really not.
Bleeding every dance, feeling every touch, and getting higher. We're invincible.
Mourinho, he didn't make it at Tottenham. The fans got on his back. He went to China. People were coming down on him hard. He was a much better player than I'm happy to see him in the side. But he and Busquets alongside each other a lot more grounded. So I'm always going to have my eyes on
Our Greek voice at the far end of the table. Olympiacos.
Yeah, I mean, no one's going to tell you anything that you don't know. This is a team that understands they are coming up against an incredible team in Barcelona. They're going to need to defend, and they're going to have plenty of midfielders, including this guy right here, Alexis Romeo, as you said, from Togo. He found the net to the back of the net in their Champions League playoff round, so he can go forward, but I think he's going to be tasked with just holding that midfield position and absorbing pressure, including trying to figure out how to stop the net. Many have tried, and very good luck.
Tackle, shadow, follow into the locker room.
Is that what he's going to do?
I'm the next U.S. coach, by the way. No one can afford that. I can lay out a new tone. It's been a tumultuous last few weeks in Barcelona. Gerard Piqué, a central figure in that debate.
Let's escape the gray
in the 11 today.
and let the colors ring.
In minutes.
Turn the shit we do and our words into pure reality. 'Cause you and me are meant to be what they don't see. Never feel wrong, 'cause we don't belong. Getting higher now. We're invincible.
No thanks. I'm still driving.
We're invincible. We can be heroes. Don't you see? We're invincible.
Rated mature.
We're invincible. We're invincible.
I sold my dream house to buy my first Domino's store. I built my store with my bare hands.
I used my college savings to buy my store. It means everything to me.
But we've decided to tear them down.
We love what we do, but not where we do it. Come and see our remodeled stores when you carry out large 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each every day.
From Miss USA, Korea Republic, Thursday at 8 Eastern on FS1.
on Fox.
Messi with 14 goals in 12 matches in all competitions this season. You're welcome. Yes. Good hit there. Kickoff coming up next.
Saturday on Fox, it's a Big 12 doubleheader. First, Heisman contender Baker Mayfield leads the Sooners against K-State. Then the fourth-ranked Horned Frogs put their undefeated streak on the line against the Jayhawks. Saturday, Oklahoma K-State at 4 Eastern, Kansas TCU at 8 on Fox.
Football Job is here. Enjoy Football TV with 35 channels of sports and the best in European soccer. You'll never miss another.
Stream most live sports for the least money. Try Fubo TV free today.
Excuse me, do you have the keys for the razor, please?
It's kind of like they don't want you to buy razors. Get a DSC starter set for just $5. Join Dollar Shave Club today.
We are the next generation of drivers, raised by rivalry, forged in flame.
When our hearts pump, 1,000 forces scream. We're tired of racing against ones and zeros.
We want change. Because we don't need another game. We need sport.
Rated E for everyone.
PlayStation.
Chicken this good deserves a fancier kind of cheese. So we got whole milk, fresh mozzarella from the most luxurious place on earth, Wisconsin. Arby's, we have the meat.
Where's Gary?
Saved money on motorcycle insurance with Geico. Going up the country. Later, Gary.
I have a motorcycle.
Wonderful. Gravity pulls you straight down.
Geico Motorcycle. Great rates for great rides.
Today's Best Western is more rewarding than ever. Rewards members get our best rates, points that never expire, more free nights at over 4,100 hotels worldwide, gift cards, and instant rewards. Fast forward to a free night by earning double rewards points with every stay. Let's go. Get rewarded. Book now at bestwestern.com.
During the L-Tag sales event, you get $3,500 off a hard day's play. From now until October 31st, save on growing possibilities with deals on select 2017 Can-Am vehicles. Only at your local Can-Am dealer.
This match is brought to you by Lay's, UEFA Champions League sponsor.
Closing in on kickoff at K2, Barcelona victorious in all 6 previous home matches against Greek clubs, outscoring the opposition 26-3 in those matches. Lexi, Brad, Warren, Rob Stone back here with you. Rainy day in Barcelona, expecting 1 to 2 inches of rain throughout the course of this match. Thunderstorms in the area as well. Some heavy expectations on Barcelona as always. Iniesta walking down there. We got our first real look at him, and a guy that you are really focused on today.
Yes, we got Barcelona back with him. He's another genius of the ball. And against a great team, as Lexi rightly said, they can try and defend, flood that midfield area. He's a player that obviously can find a pass. If not a goal himself, a wonderful player.
New manager in charge, and Ernesto Valverde changed the formation to a 4-4-2, Brad. Why the move this year?
If you go to a 4-4-2 and you have Iniesta, let's say a De La Feu on the wingers, they're probably going to come inside a little bit, so you're going to want your fullbacks to go forward, and you'll end up having 4, 5, 6 going forward at a time. I would imagine that he's also putting more of an onus on Busquets to be able to come laterally, and again, Mourinho wants to get the best out of him. He is a box-to-box player, so I think he's just looking at personnel in that regard.
And if they do play this way and they can utilize they can do it consistently.
The biggest reason they change the formation, they lose Neymar. So then they go to say, if I can get these two on the ball the best, let them two go and play.
And most teams do pack it in against them as well. So you see no Neymar, so you're not going to be able to have the three across the front. You're going to have Suarez and Messi, and then where are you going to provide the width? So it's going to be with the fullbacks. And Iniesta, a tremendous passer of the ball, as we know. And with Deulofeu out on the right-hand side, it also takes a little bit of pressure off.
Giant banner being unfurled. This is being unfurled by the club, Barcelona, right now. It says dialogue, respect, and sport. UEFA did give permission for this banner to be dropped. Again, politics and sports intersecting really across the globe right now, and certainly in that region of Spain. We saw players kneeling in Germany the other day. Messi right there holding an equal game initiative hashtag as the two teams make their way out onto the field. Struggling Suarez, so even more onus on that man at the end of the line. Hasn't really been bothered by all the international travels, matches, and stress. He has been in exquisite form as we revisit the Barcelona 11.
And if they do play a 4-3-3, you'll see it line up as this with Sergio Paulino on the right and Iniesta. But I do think they're going to go to a 4-4-2, which is what they have been doing recently in the league. Just look at Deulofeu going over on the right-hand side with Paulinho and Busquets in the middle and Iniesta out on the left. And then you have the two main men up front with Messi and Suarez. And then Digne and Sergio Roberto will be going forward, I'm sure, time after time in a game like tonight.
Not a full house.
Rainy day.
That's soccer weather, my friend. Mm-hmm. Zip it around, pass it around on that surface.
Well, they always say weather is a great equalizer. So if you're Olympiacos, you're taking the rain and you're saying this could be a great opportunity for us to see the teams coming together. This is the beginning of UEFA's Equal Game Initiative. It's out there to promote inclusion, diversity, and accessibility in soccer. The captains coming together with the hashtag Equal Game. Officiating crew. We revisit the Olympiacos 11. Certainly a bit of a Belgian feel to this squad.
Yep, 6 changes from the weekend. You mentioned Belgium. Silvio Proto in goal. He missed out in 2014 for the Belgian squad on injury. He could be challenged a lot tonight. We've talked so much in that midfield, and just a lot of midfielders in this lineup, including Alexis Romeo from Togo. Second campaign with the club since joining from Marseille, and number 8, Maris Ojija, another Belgian, looking to provide some midfield creativity and possibly some goals.
2 losses in Champions League play for Olympiacos. They're currently 5th in their domestic league. For Barcelona, on top of Group D with wins over Juve and Sporting. We'll see you next at halftime. For the call, here's Jim Proudfoot.
night of reunions and potential milestones which could go a long way to deciding the destiny of each of these clubs in the group stage of the Champions League. Both clubs in their customary colours, Barca kicking from left to right in this first half. Early touch for Paulinho, who's made a couple of appearances as a substitute in the Champions League since moving to Barcelona, but he starts for the first time tonight. Sergio Roberto. Olympiacos, as expected, starting on the right-hand side for Barcelona. Sergio Roberto fouled. First set-piece opportunity goes Barca's way. Foul by Valis Adija. Mr. Valverde. Just a couple of the UEFA Cup finals with Espanyol. One as a player, one as a coach, hoping to mastermind Barcelona's return to a European final. I'm wondering whether this will be the moment when Lionel Messi makes it 100 goals in European football. Is he going full goal? Desperation to prevent the corner. Proto made a lot of ground outside of his penalty area. It was good goalkeeping in the end. Messi. Paulinho. Iniesta working wide. Olympiacos will never need a second invitation to make ground up that flank, and he's done well to keep it in. Messi teased over the top. Awkward ball to defend. Such was the bounce. Eventually Olympiacos are able to whack it away. Already a sense that this could be a long night for the Greek champions. They're not here for the ride. Takis Lamoni stressed that football people should never say that they're there to enjoy the game. Rescue from Potilla. Still returns to the place where he had his formative years as a footballer. Olympiacos doing well to wrap his foot around that to keep it in. Barcelona, almost exclusive possession so far. It's an opportunity for Barcelona to bring the ball forward. Stopped in his tracks by Sergio Roberto. Mr. Valverde maybe trying to make his mark in Barcelona, but his place in Olympiacos history is already assured. Led them to 3 league titles in his 2 spells in Piraeus, winning the league and cup double twice. Decent achievement in 3 seasons. Iniesta. Slightly muted atmosphere here at the Camp Nou in the early stages. I think the weather has a huge part to play in that. Titi. Piqué making his way forward. Olympiacos. Suarez languidly walking inside the penalty area. He's in a good position now. Messi played it in. Olympiacos happy to smuggle it away for a corner. Paulinho amongst the targets as Olympiacos takes it. It could easily have been 1-0. Dangerous little flick. Luis Suarez at full stretch, just unable to steer it the right side of the post. Excellent delivery from Olympiacos. Some Titi's touch that caused the problems, and Suarez might actually have done better. Setbacks have been few and far between for Barca this season. They dropped their first league points at the weekend when they were held at Atletico Madrid, but they remain 3 points clear at the top of La Liga. They still have a 100% record in the Champions League this season. Any signs of promise here? Deulofeu just loses his footing, having tried to turn inside Couturier. Back from Busquets. Ball by Iniesta. Conditions as such, it's going to be difficult for players to turn quickly. We've seen that with Deulofeu's stumble. Ball from Carcella. Play for an Olympiacos throw via the touch from Gerard Piqué. Ajija. There's excellent ball retention. Not a bad pass either, but Christina back to cover the run of Androutsos. Away by Busquets. Space for Lionel Messi and for Deulofeu as well. Just deflecting the cross. The defensive header only falling for Sergio Roberto. Seems as though it's only a matter of time for Barcelona. Such has been their complete domination of the early stages. But here with the header away. Iniesta. Suarez. Busquets. That committed the foul. Bringing Paulinho down right in front of the referee. The ball had already gone. Iniesta. Paulinho. Iniesta. Digne almost able to field the ball. It was the right pass and a good run. Castillo getting his chance tonight because of the injury to Jordi Alba, one of the former winners of this competition, still in the Barcelona ranks. It's only Digne's second start of the season in all competitions since Ernesto Valverde came to the club. It's an interesting role for Ajija this evening. I think I'm right in saying it's the first time he's ever played as the central striker for Olympiacos. He's there really as a defensive-minded player, a man with a fantastic work rate, whose endeavour and industry will just be another body behind the ball, but in a more advanced position. As Lamone is more than happy to say that Olympiacos would just try and keep it tight. You can see Adija there, number 8. He's the most advanced of the Olympiacos players. He's still very close to the edge of his own penalty area in the grand scheme of things. That means that there's no out ball as Mattia whacks it forward. History beckons for Lionel Messi tonight. He starts the evening just 1 goal short of 100 in European competition. All but 3 of those have come in the Champions League. Another free kick given away. I think is going to be spoken to by the referee after this latest poor challenge. He's there to make a nuisance of himself. Busquets was the player that he fouled. No card produced by referee Colin. It was none too subtle. Deulofeu. Still available as Sergio Roberto supplies him with a return pass. And then Adija is unsubtly hauled to the ground by Piqué, and that will be the game's first yellow card. Olympiacos' game plan is, as expected, just to keep things compact, keep bodies behind the ball, but have the ability to hit sides on the counter-attack, and Piqué knew the danger of letting Adija get in behind him. As a consequence, he dragged him to the ground when the ball had been played into that vacant area. 5th yellow card of the season already for Piqué in all competitions. There's nobody in the starting lineup for either team tonight who's 1 yellow card away from a suspension. So Semedo is, if he comes off the bench for Barca. Olympiacos have their first corner, to the audible delight of the 2,500 travelling Greek supporters. Sense the forays inside the Barcelona penalty area might be few and far between. They've got to make the most of situations like this. Carcella plays it in. Iniesta with time to work it out. Found Messi. The firm challenge, this time by Botilla. Made 1 appearance for Barcelona back in 2009, about 3 dozen for the B team in the second division. He's played in La Liga for Gijón, Sevilla and Elche for making the move to Greece. And he's returned to the Camp Nou as the Olympiacos captain tonight. Sergio Roberto, Messi. Iniesta helping it round the corner. Paulinho is the furthest advanced player in the middle if Digne could get it across, but ultimately it's a goal kick. Defeats in their opening 2 games, leaving Olympiacos in the invidious position of really needing a positive result from back-to-back matches against Barcelona. If they lose them both, the Champions League hopes could be over by the end of match day 4. But realistically, having been given one of the toughest draws, finishing 3rd in this group would constitute success. Parachuting into the Europa League would be an excellent return. Deulofeu works inside the penalty area, and Nicolau comes back to clear at the expense of a corner. Short by Messi. Deulofeu. Still 5 targets for him inside that penalty area. It's a big night for him. Handful of substitute appearances for Barcelona in the Champions League in his first spell at the club when he was a teenager. He made the move to England and played with Everton. A loan spell at Milan before coming back to the Camp Nou in a €12 million deal over the summer. But tonight his first Champions League appearance for 5 years, his first ever start in the competition. Iniesta, Suarez, Deulofeu waiting in the middle. It was Koutras that came across to clear. And Drutsos tries to get it away, doesn't get it too far clear. Mourinho with an apology for the foul on Ramau in the midfield. play by Iniesta. Dinking the ball inside the penalty area. Right where Barcelona have completely dominated possession, which was broadly expected. Forced Silvio Proto into a difficult save so far. Paulinho gives another free kick away. And Lamonis' side just beginning to get a little foothold in the game. The early panic seems to have subsided. Is offside. TD. Paulinho. Setting the sights from distance. Didn't clear the bar by too much. Silvio Proto would have had it covered. Decent strike from a player who's already become a firm favourite with both the Barcelona fans and his fellow players. Good man to have around the dressing room, Paulinho. Rare touch for Ter Stegen. Umtiti. Messi. Sergio Roberto. Iniesta. Good challenge from Batia. Sergio Roberto again. And Deulofeu lurking with intent again. It's steered in for an own goal. Nicolau is the man that's put it past his own goalkeeper, and Barcelona have the lead. Not too much that Proto could do about that. Another perceptive ball inside the penalty area. Valverde's men lead. Deulofeu's made an impact in this first Champions League appearance of his for 5 years. Onside as the ball was played into him. Nicolau had to play it with Messi lurking in behind him. Unfortunately, he played it into precisely the wrong place. Barcelona, a goal up inside the opening 20 minutes. He's very much the rookie in this Olympiacos side. Nicolau, biggest game of his life tonight. Only the 12th game of his career. Still only 19. And a hideous way in which to mark it. Messi. That's a rarity. Barca's last home defeat in the Champions League was against Bayern Munich in the 2013 semi-final. They're unbeaten in 22 since then. Juventus and Atletico Madrid, the only teams to avoid defeat here in the Champions League in that time, both in quarter-final ties in which they ended up eliminating Barca. 21st home win in 23 in European competition already on the cards. Paulinho for Deulofeu. Proto makes the save. Now for a third Barcelona corner. Deulofeu this time with an in-swing. Proto could have caught that, elected to punch it clear instead. Hoisted over the vacant midfield area by Batia. Delawi able to help it on. And Ter Stegen with a comfortable catch. He did stress that you couldn't underestimate Olympiacos on the basis of the results in their group so far. He was very complimentary about their speed on the counter-attack, which he drummed into his players, just how dangerous they can be. Advantage play by the referee after the foul by Batia. Deulofeu, who's the aggrieved party, back on his feet. Busquets, Iniesta, Suarez. He's found Iniesta the second time of asking. Paulinho makes it 2-0, but the flag was up against Iniesta. Suarez played it back to him. This ball here. It was close, but the decision was absolutely correct. I think the free kick had gone outside the penalty area, which was the problem. Olympiacos have won 7 successive league titles in Greece, but they currently find themselves 4 points off the top of the table after only 3 league wins from their opening 7 matches. Have already been beaten by 2 of their potential title rivals, both of whom sit above them in the table at the moment. Stays this way, we played 3, lost 3 in the Champions League as well. Suarez couldn't get the elevation, seeing Proto slightly off his line. Misplaced pass through the midfield. Deulofeu has it. Suarez wanted the ball to be played early. And Messi then just has it taken off his toes on the edge of the D, but again, Olympiacos, architects of their own potential downfall by giving the ball away so cheaply inside their final third. And back it will come with Busquets. Messi. Still Messi. Paulinho. Deulofeu sprinted to get himself back onside and able to join back in the play. Sergio Roberto. Iniesta. Sergio Roberto coming in, so too Paulinho, off the bar, and Batia very grateful to be able to hammer it away. Inches away, what would have been his 3rd goal in 4 starts for his new club. Umtiti. Now Messi. It's looked up only Luis Suarez ahead of him. Giella involved in the midfield. Now Ramao. The free kick is given away by Adija. Umtiti, the player that was fouled. This was the Paulinho chance. Excellent movement from him. Really poor defending. Stolen a march on Kutris, the fullback who'd found himself in the middle. Nobody had tracked the run from that central midfield area from Paulinho. Iniesta. This time it's Messi who's in. Pull back for Deulofeu. The defending good enough from Kutris this time, who just able to come back and close Deulofeu down in the nick of time. Ramsey still waits for his first Barcelona goal. He's had the major part to play in the one that Barca have scored tonight, which was put in by that man, Nicolau. Towards Paulinho. From Sergio Roberto. Paulinho guiding it down, and just as it looked as though Messi was going to reach his century, it was a brilliant blocking challenge. Barca come again. Iniesta with the long ball forward. Luis Suarez drifting off and finding space. Messi. Deulofeu. Defending so narrow, Olympiacos, that Suarez has got all the time that he wants on that right flank to play the ball inside the penalty area. He's very compact and barely defending the width of the penalty area at the moment, Olympiacos. Suarez or Deulofeu, who's ever drifting out wide. So much licence. Hitting a measured delivery. That one dealt with by Batia. Back from Busquets. Is Iniesta. In the challenge of Romao and Andruzos. Ultimately it's a goal kick. Well, after plenty of conjecture surrounding his future, Andres Iniesta signed a contract a couple of weeks ago that binds him to the club for life. Involved in that move, we saw Paulinho hit the bar. Olympiacos still waiting for their first attempt of the night, their first sight of ter Stegen's goal. It's Iniesta again. Paulinho. PK. Some precious little defending to do, apart from the one incident which saw him booked. Set-piece opportunity here for Barcelona. With the cue from Titi to make his way forward. Barca targets inside that penalty area, but Messi might just be eyeing up that vacant space at Proto's near post. It's a wonderful ball in, and had Busquets left it, it may well have been 2-0. Lack of communication involved amongst the Barca players. Suarez was in a better position coming in behind him. Iniesta. Paulinho letting it run for Messi. Options either side of Paulinho, including Sergio Roberto, Suarez. Iniesta making his way forward, couldn't drag it into his stride. Suarez still down. Just getting back to his feet now. Paulinho. Titi for Piqué. Sergio Roberto. Cut by the Serbian international Gelar. Back for Deulofeu again. Beautifully done. Sergio Roberto trying to put it on the plate for Suarez. Deulofeu causing mayhem inside that penalty area. It's a brilliant drag back. In the end, he gets the corner, only have 4 Olympiacos players around him. Wonderful skill. Iniesta. Iniesta. Messi's turn to drift out wide. Umtiti. In by Suarez. Proto and Kuchus had to get the lines of communication right. They managed that with the Belgian international coming out and gathering cleanly. Players inherited by Takis Lamonis. He'd only been at the club a couple of weeks when the previous manager was sacked, Silvio Proto. Made his name playing for Anderlecht. That was the challenges certainly by Ramal that saw him booked. And foul on Suarez off the ball. 7th yellow card of the season for Ramal. And here's the second goal. Somehow Proto's got out in the nick of time and able to make the save. Suarez played in, odds on to score. Excellent goalkeeping. And Suarez himself having a hand in the move. Look at his speed and awareness getting himself in the penalty area. And Proto's stop is of the highest quality. He came off his left shoulder in the end. It was good goalkeeping. Here's Digne. Iniesta. Rare opportunity to counter-attack for Olympiacos, but Digne needed a better pass to be played. Kuchus, who sprinted some 80 yards upfield to join in with the play, tries to retreat almost as quickly. Olifeo. Paulinho taking the aerial route out towards Lucas Digne. From the Frenchman to Iniesta. Busquets, Piqué. Roberto. Titi. Every Barcelona outfield player is almost exclusively in Olympiacos territory. Sergio Roberto scored the aggregate winner in that extraordinary tie against PSG last season. Barcelona won 6-5, 6-1 here after a 4-0 defeat in the first leg. Suarez can't make it happen around the edge of the penalty area, and it's more Olympiacos have the opportunity to get it forward, and Adija plowing a lone furrow. Trying to take on Piqué, that can't beat him. Alexis Ramal, Togolese international midfielder. Now Kudris. Sergio Roberto is foul Carcella. Carcella, a Moroccan international, also played a couple of times for Belgium before changing his international affinity. Losing side here last season in a league game for Granada, for whom he was part of their ultimately unsuccessful relegation battle. inside the penalty area, took a dangerous near post flick, and the effort from Adija is Olympiacos' first of the night. Just cannoning back off the shoulder of Piqué. Adija having to take it on first time, really. Olympiacos had gone 4 without a league win prior to Saturday's win of Panionios. They only just won that, having been 3-1 up with 7 minutes to go. Conceded twice. Here's Messi. Deulofeu. Messi. Wonderful turn. Luis Suarez waiting at the far post. Deulofeu has it taken away from him. And Titi. Deulofeu. And Proto just about prevents the corner. He does prevent the corner. Olympiacos needed an 87th minute penalty from Kostas Fortounis to survive that Panionios comeback at the weekend, which ended a run of 3 straight defeats in all competitions for them, which had been their worst run for 8.5 years. One of those defeats came against AEK, which was a step too far for previous boss Besnik Hassi, who was sacked after that defeat, seeing Takis Lamoni's return to the club for a 4th spell in charge. Game against AEK, they've been 2-0 up with half an hour to go, and they lost. Sergio Roberto. Too steep a delivery for Paulinho. And it's an Olympiacos throw. Deulofeu. Paulinho. Deulofeu with another chance to supply a potent delivery. Cleverly scooped it out from underneath his right foot. Cella surviving the challenge is able to find Adija, and he's done well to retain possession really well. Now one blind alley too many in the end. Messi. Another clever touch from Adija. His club football for Legia Warsaw last season. He scored against Real Madrid in the Champions League. And prior to that, he'd had a spell in England with Norwich. Here's Suarez finding a way through. So far. Take them on almost single-handedly at the moment. Vadis Adija, he's got a fantastic engine. Messi is brought down. Haven't been too many genuinely poor challenges so far tonight, but that is one that goes into that category. to buying Batia, perpetrator of the challenge, his former teammate. Suarez's were roaring, running inside the penalty area moments prior to that. Steu Lefeu, and he's bundled in for two. It doesn't count. PK offside. Now, has he put it in with his hand? Because he gets a yellow